Okay, here we go. Tombstone. We're going to interpret the genius of Ryan Cohen. Now, this may have fallen into his lap unexpectedly, which very well could have happened. So let's go ahead and take a look at everything as far as this string of tweets here. Now, my hypothesis is that Ryan Cohen met with the SEC somewhere on May 12th. And it's not known, obviously, what could have been talked about, but we can infer a few things based on some evidence, some breadcrumbs that we can pick up. However, we know that shortly after this time frame, it was announced by GameStop they would be working with the SEC in an offering. Based on other correlating events, I firmly believe that Ryan Cohen was requested to comply with the SEC as far as the offering is concerned in some regards. And the offering in question is the one of 5 million shares. That shouldn't be a dollar sign, just should say 5 million shares. And the tweets kind of outline the series of events. So this is where it gets tricky, but if you piece it together and if you've, take what you've learned this year and kind of put all the pieces together, it makes sense. So on May 12th, Ryan Cohen sent out this tweet. He was in a GameStop store. He had a lot of titles on the shelves, including Crash Bandicoot, It's About Time, Crackdown, I believe the Surge was on there, and then Valhalla was on there, Assassin's Creed even, and then funniest of all, if you go and you can zoom in on this picture on your computer, look at the code vein title. It's clearly edited just to make the E look like an F so that it shows DFV. So that shit's funny. Now, I believe that he was here at this GameStop right after his meeting with the SEC. Because guess what? The location of this store is like 20 minutes away from the SEC headquarters. So, I mean, what do you know? Coincidence? Don't know. Next, we have the Tombstone tweet. Now, first of all, as far as this one goes, it is unscrambleable. Not sure if everyone knew this, but I'm going to reiterate. If you unscramble Ryan Cohen, rip dumbass, including all three periods, it says buy, dip, period. Then it says MOAS. Then it says near, period. And then the last four letters can be interpreted as Ryan Cohen, RNCH. So you unscramble this, buy dip, MOAS near, Ryan Cohen. That's the least important thing to talk about as far as this tweet. Take this for what it's worth, but I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, a Tombstone ad is an ad or a way of letting your investors know of an upcoming offering. This was done way back in the day. It used to show up in black and white in the newspaper. So that's what a tombstone is in relation to the stock market. A tombstone is a type of print notice that is most often used in the financial industry to formally announce a particular transaction, such as an initial public offering or placement of stock of a company, etc. So we take this information, and obviously shortly after we get the announcement on the shareholder meeting that there's going to be an offering of up to 5 million shares of Class A common stock. Next, we have the PG13 tweet. Looks like he was in a restaurant. He had some chopsticks. He looks like he's pretty baked. This is the one where the date's important. So July 19th. We know Ryan Cohen likes to do things the day before and the day after certain things happen. The day before tends to retain to the charts, and the day after tends to retain to documentation. So based on what we've seen so far, Ryan Cohen likes to tweet things the night before an event. This was July 19th. Now, if we look at the CUSIP number on the bond, and we look at the issue date and the announcement date of this bond was July 20th. So, could he have been tweeting this to let us know that, hey, the offering that we did on June 9th, it's going to be split into two different dates. One date being August 24th, the first maturity date, and the second being October 12th, 2021. Now, to explain the PG13 text, again, page 13 of the prospectus explains how this could be possible. Next, we have the infamous computer share. Oh boy, not so fast. This was sent July 23rd. Well, what happened the day before July 23rd? That's when the Treasury auction results were released. So, the text says, can't stop, won't stop. But this is besides the point. What's really interesting about this one is that the article links back to this article here. It says science, not exactly rocket science. Information overload? Heavy multimedia users are more easily distracted by irrelevant information. But even then, look at when the date was. August 24th, 2009. There's a 1 out of a 365 chance that that would have been the case. But it is the case. Coincidence? Don't know. So after finding the October bonds that expire on the 12th, and after everything we've seen here in hindsight, hold. Now, those of you wondering why I started looking into these bonds in the first place. Well, if you go to the reverse repo website and you go to the share lending data, share lending transactions right here, and you go to the historical search, those bonds show up. I believe I can find it right here. But yeah, they show up in the share lending historical search. Let's just go ahead and hit this. Let's do July 19th to October 12th. Oh, an error occurred now. It's because I'm recording. But anyways, yeah, it showed up on the securities lending data. This is actually it right here. So they're lending these shares, and all of the big players that are lending these shares are Fidelity, BlackRock, everyone that's basically in GameStop's 13F. So you put all this together, and is he trying to tell us a story or series of events? Could be. Is there any way to 100% prove it? Not exactly. So if we look at their 13 Gs here, BlackRock, State Street, Fidelity was on here, right there. FMR was on there. They're all in these bonds. So what's going to happen on Tuesday? I think we're going to go tits up based on all this. So in summary, Ryan Cohen met with the SEC in late May. He was going to do a share offering. Gary Gensler got with him, or whoever got with him, and they sat down and they had to work out something because the shorts are hooked. Now, could this be a bad thing? No, I think it's a good thing because we all know Gary wants to take out the shorts and all the bad actors. So if they really are working together, that could explain the brick by brick tweet, because it's gonna take some time. It's a methodological process. Jesus Christ, I need to stop talking. And he sent this before the offer. This was the first thing he sent after all this. So keep that in mind. Yeah, I believe that this is not by choice. I believe he was forced to do this for whatever reason. So hang in there, everyone. Hopefully that made sense.